We've got 1 o'clock. What do you say we get going? People will probably lollygagging. We'll have more people on. Hey there, you guys. And on the Facebook world, Denny Grimes coming to you from Southwest Florida with another version of the mastery of real estate. Question-based, listening enhanced conversations that help you win with your buyers and sellers. And we have a celebrity. We have a celebrity on here. First, let me introduce, you don't know already, Sunny Hammermeister, who's my director of growth. And she is actually going to be monitoring everything here. And my co-host, the acclaimed John McLeod. I forgot your name for a second. He's my area director and real estate rock star in Naples, which is awesome. John, how you doing?
Alive, excited, and full of energy, Denny. How are you?
Right. That's how Sunny starts our role play each and every morning. Our team knows that. And we have another celebrity on, although he's coming up as Crystal on the phone on the Zoom. It's James out of Phoenix, and he was in a regional, I think it was, or was it a market center?
It was just market center.
Market center script off. And so he had to work his way through. He told us this a couple of weeks ago. We really didn't have an official class last week, although we did have an unofficial class because I know some of you may not have gotten the word. And so we had mega camp last week. So several of us were on for 30 or 40 minutes. And anyway, we had a great time. Bryant was on. And so anyway, I want to give James a little bit of opportunity to start off on the role play that he did that won him the championship. Not only did he get a year subscription to Reader's Digest, he got a used set of Ginsu steak knives that are a little bit rusty, but they can still cut really, really warm liquid butter. So everybody else, if you can come on camera, we'll have a good time, and we'll start with this in just 1 second. Although I do want to share something with you. I always have a thought of the day, and I want to share a thought of the day with you. As some of you might know, if you go to my YouTube channel, Denny Grimes, The Mastery of Real Estate, I encourage you to subscribe and get notified every time there's a post. I just did a very important, probably very timely TV spot today. Again, these spots are about 3 minutes. And here is the topic. The topic is the party over? Because guess what, guys? In our market, probably you're very similar. We saw a decrease in the amount of homes sold in July over last July. And this is the last day of August, right? And so I cheated a little bit and I said, okay, how does this August look thus far as compared to last year? Guess what? Another negative month. So we have 13 months of green, positive growth year over year. Now the last 2 months have been negative. What's going on in the marketplace? And so my thought of the day is this, because this is going to be coming up, because the media will start to report this. And so when they ask about the party being over, I have to think about the movie, one I haven't seen in a while, is Animal House. And would you not think that maybe Animal House would be a great way to describe the market we're in, John?
Absolutely. And Denny, while you're doing this, I'm actually going back to look 2 years back, just because I know where you're going to go with this. We talked quite a bit. And with the pandemic, I've always wondered if we were going to have the media do exactly what you're saying. You know, the sky is falling, the market's retreating, we're down year over year. Well, just a quick number, we are still up 35% over 2019.
Well, that's interesting. Now, again, you are stealing a little bit of my thunder, but that's why I have you on here. I like the way you think. And I want to give you guys, or we want to give you the ammunition because it's coming. Here, I feel like I'm part of the Exorcist movie right now. Did you hear that? So here's what I want you to know. When you look at what's happened this year over last year was kind of like Animal House. It was a frat party. Now, this is worth remembering. Now, although my college was very tame. Bryant, I don't know. And by the way, Bryant, how are you guys? You're in Baton Rouge. How are you guys doing from the storm?
It
It honestly just missed. I'm kind of on West Baton Rouge, right here from Nicholas and by LSU. So we just got strong winds. It hit more up North Shore by Mandeville, Covington area, and it hit Tangipahoa really bad. But I'm perfectly fine though.
That's awesome. Well, Brian, you might have had an LSU's kind of a party school, I guess. I didn't really have a wild party time. Here's something I want you to write down. In life, we have the choice. We can either party hard or party long. Now, Sonny, I think that you were probably a party hardy type person, growing up. I think you said you're maybe from California. You remind me you're from California. I was not a party guy that much. Our market basically in 2020 and, really picked up in the first part of this year was a party hard time. Now, what happens when, for example, our sales, John, in Lee County are down 10% over last August and 20% in Collier County over last August, which suggests the market is going backwards, right? Yet John came up with the right thought, and this is the ammunition I want you to make note of. When you look back at 2020 August, Naples had almost a 50% growth over 19. And Fort Myers had a 20% growth over 19. So when you have super duper high months like that last year, and you compare this year, it's always hard to be able to grow when you have like a once in a lifetime event. And so what John was doing a second ago was this, and this is what I want you to look at. Look at your 2019 numbers, because 2019 in our area was the best year since our bubble crashed. 2020 was better, and will probably still be better. Yet when you look at the sales we have right now, you guys, it's greater than 2019. What does this mean? And this is going to be important because buyers still have the question, should I buy now or wait? Is this. We're getting back to rational. I had a mortgage broker call me, actually text me yesterday in call. We talked a little bit before the class. It was very interesting. He said, John, hey, look, I'm picking up that people, there's not as many offers, it doesn't seem, and people that I give the original pre-qualification letter to are actually, they're getting an offer accepted on that. I don't have to come up with another one. So we're seeing sign after sign after sign of a market returning to rational. Like John said, and John, you can give me your 2 cents worth on this before we go to our first role play. Be careful. The buyers may be using that information to make them want to wait. Don't let that happen because they're going to be full. John?
It's a great point, Denny. Rational is normal. And anytime we have a transition from a buyer's market to a seller's market and back, there is that irrational period. And we've experienced a pretty extended irrational period right now due to COVID and all sorts of other factors. Coming back into a rational market, I expect to see exactly what Denny just pointed out. I expect buyers to say, oh, I'm just going to wait till it crashes. Now, there was an interesting graphic that I shared with our team about a week ago that over the past 40 years, this trailing 12 months was the third best time to purchase real estate over the last 40 years. When you factor in the price and the cost of money in real dollars for 2021. The only time that was better was 2020. And I want to say 2000 or 2010 were the only other times that were better to purchase than now in real actual dollars.
Right. Right. So anyway, that's the thought of the day, you guys. We're starting to see numbers slow when you look at year over year, but they're still strong. They're still moving forward in spite of kind of a crazy month headline wise. So let's get back to our star pupil. James was in the final in the Scottsdale Market Center 280. And basically, James, we'll let you, we'll set the timer. What was your time frame on that, James? What was the rules?
We had 2 minutes.
All right, so Sonny, if you'll have set 2 minutes. And the objection is, if I can state it right, and you correct me if I'm wrong, is that I'll be the seller and hey, listen, I had a good agent last time, and I think that he doesn't really do a lot in this particular area, but I think I'll use him anyway. Is that pretty fair, James?
That's just about perfect. Yep, that's just about what they said.
All right, 2 minutes starting now, Sonny.
All right, so Denny, well, I appreciate you sitting down with me. So let me ask you, what was it about them that you liked so much?
Well, I mean, I knew him. I went to school with him. Her kids went to school together, and I put my house on the market, sold it in like 4 months. It was cool, and and they helped me buy another one with no major problems. So, quit while you're ahead, right?
Well, yeah, but you had mentioned to me that he doesn't work in this particular area. So is that a concern of yours that they're, not located close to where you're trying to sell?
Well, I figured real estate's real estate. I mean, he lives in the next town over, so it's like an hour drive. But I would think that, real estate's real estate, right?
Well, kind of, yeah. But I mean, you really want someone that knows the area, that knows, the market. Let me ask you this. If you were to make a change, what would you want in your next agent?
Well, I would want someone that was probably a clone of Andy, and except that would have local knowledge.
Okay. Well, I'd like to come and see if I could possibly be a clone of Andy. Well, what else did Andy do that made it such a 5-star experience for you?
Well, he stayed in touch with us a lot, and he knew when not to call. I don't need to be bothered by a bunch of stuff, and it was just a pleasant experience. I mean, there was no problems.
Understood. I appreciate that. Now, let me ask you this. If I had a team of agents, that means we have a bigger pool of buyers, would you be happy if we were able to bring more people potentially into your home?
No, I mean, I don't need more people. I don't need one person can buy it, so I don't need more people.
Well, the more people you expose it to, the more opportunity you have to get top dollar, correct?
Minutes.
That's 2 minutes or one.
2.
All right. So that goes by fast, right? So I don't know if that was, I don't know if they played me like I played me. I don't know. Any comments on that from anyone? And this is kind of a cool thing. I think we can actually do this another time, because you're going to have, it's a very similar objection you're going to have. Basically, hey, I've got a friend, in the business, or the past agent I used was pretty good. So any comments from anyone? And if you're able to, I mean, we'll actually let you all play a little bit. John, my co-host, will call you out if you want to do a role play. So get your cameras on. Any comments on that, or any questions you might want to ask that weren't asked? John,
Open forum, guys.
Yeah, do your job, John. Be the sheepdog. Get him running.
All right, so I'm not going to call on Crystal because he needs to go get his hair done. James, I got to tell you, that's the best I've seen your hair yet. It's awesome.
Wow, thank you. That's high praise.
I know. Marie, what are your thoughts?
Just like in the actual competition, it was it really felt like a curveball thrown in from left field. I was like, wow, that's, I could understand if they'd worked with, they have a friend or a family member who's an agent, but to say, yeah, we're totally happy, this guy was fantastic, we're going to use them again. I was like, you've really painted me into a corner here to fight my way out of. So
Okay.
I felt like I needed a little more time to ask Denny a few more questions to try to get to the center of why he really, really, really wanted to stay with that guy, as opposed to trying something new that might work better for him.
Awesome. Marie, what sort of thoughts do you have on it?
I think that I would say, when he wanted to work with that old agent, I would say, well, are you more interested in working with your friend or net you top dollar?
Great question.
Okay.
Mhm.
That is a fantastic question.
Right.
Paul,
that
how
one
about you?
down,
What did you
right?
pick?
Now, let me ask you this, James. Was this supposedly on the phone?
No, this was a sit down in person. So you're sitting across the table from them. They had the microphone set up, and you are face to face with them.
And so the role play, the scenario was you're actually on the appointment, correct?
Correct.
So
Oh,
you
there's
guys,
a great question for that.
Well, the question I want you guys asking yourself, what questions should you be asking yourself in order to ask the seller?
And why are you sitting down with me if you love this other agent so much?
Exactly.
Yes, if I'm talking about this, my fiance, and how great I am, and I'm meeting another young lady for drinks. I mean, the question is, well, why am I here? Honey, that's only figurative, okay? That never happened. So, fair enough?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Absolutely.
So Denny, let me ask you this. When you ask a seller that question, that direct, so, you know, Denny, I got to ask, if everything was so perfect, why am I here?
Yeah.
What goes through your head as a seller?
So Brian, be that seller. Then I'll let you role play, because I know you're dying to get out of the chute.
No,
So Brian, I really appreciate the loyalty. You know what? We all, as agents, really strive to have clients that are as loyal as you are. I just have one question for you.
okay,
If you're that loyal, why am I here?
because the agent hasn't put it on the market yet.
Okay, and what are you missing, or what are you looking to find out or looking to learn before going and exposing your property to the market?
My options with agents. I mean, that's kind of why I'm considering looking at another agent like yourself.
Okay, all right, terrific. So, and off script, this is kind of how my personality would play it. So Brian, it sounds like you're engaged but not quite married yet to this other agent. Is that right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not, the agent, just a friend. He's just if he sells it, it sells it. It doesn't bother me, but I just want to get it sold for top dollar.
Okay,
Mari,
great.
hang on, John. Mari, now ask your question.
Okay.
You said it a minute ago. What question did you just say?
Do you wanna? Are you more interested in working with your agent or net top dollar?
Yeah, okay. But I want you to use the right words. And would you rather work with your friend or make more money?
Rather make more money.
So would it be fair to assume that maybe why you're talking to me?
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's something better out there.
There you go. So now that opens up a window of questions, right? So John pick a new seller. I'm going to let Bryant run with the ball from that point right now. We'll have 2.5 minutes after that statement.
All right, so Adam, you're the new seller.
Okay. Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
Perfectly. So
Sonny, your
Adam,
timing.
Adam, I love the fact that you want to get absolute top dollar for your home.
Hang on, John. Bryant's actually going to be the agent.
Oh, Brian's going to step into my shoes. Perfect. All right, Bryant.
All right, Adam, I'd love to hear that you want top dollar for your home. Now, are you aware of how competitive this market is right now?
Yes.
Okay, and are you aware of what's going on in your neighborhood?
Would appear that things are selling very quickly.
Very quickly, okay. And your friend that you have, or relative, this agent that's an hour away, if there were pre-approved buyers calling his sign, wanting to see the house within 5 minutes, do you think that he's going to be able to drop everything while he's making his other clients happy and come to your house within an hour?
Well, he better get his butt over there. But yeah, that would be a concern.
It would be a concern. Okay. So can you see how that is very important for you trying to get top dollar for that one specific buyer wanting to see the house?
Yeah, so you being local and driving traffic and being available,
Okay.
certainly
that
makes sense to me.
Is that the only concern here stopping you from listing your house with me today?
Well, I mean, it's a good friend, and if he just looks online one day and sees that my house is for sale, I know he's going to be very upset.
Okay. And are you here to make top dollar for your home or make your friend happy?
Well, I'm just wondering, is there anything you can do to kind of help me out with him, so that we can get this moving today?
Can you, what do you mean by?
I'm being pretty explicit, stepping out of role.
No,
I'm being
no.
pretty explicit just because we deal with it this certain way. Yeah.
No, Adam, that was a perfect response.
So you
Yeah,
had a good
definitely.
question. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, would you want me to call them and tell them that we're taking this on board and getting this sold, or how would you want me to handle this?
3 minutes.
Yeah, from what you're telling me, I think the opportunity is here for me to net out a nice chunk of change, and I'm happy paying the commission to get that done. Do you think you could do something with him to just explain the way you did to me and why I'm leaning that way?
All right, let's stop right here.
Adam,
I'm trying to
I
get
want
him
to finish
over,
this.
bro.
Hold on. I want to finish this one. Hold on. Adam,
Oh,
is that
wait a
the only
minute. Now,
is that the only concern? Is that the only concern from us stopping you from listing it with me today?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, look, Adam, would it make this comfortable for you if I called him after this conversation and told him that we're going to list this and net you the most money possible so he can worry about his business an hour away from where he's at now?
All right. Now, are you done?
I'm done.
Can I get back control of my show? Just kind of curious. So that's awesome. Adam, you played that so well. This is a perfect place to transition. Who wants to go from that point? Now, Brian, you were going down a pretty good road. I think it can be a little clearer because there's actually a script we taught in bold. Anyone want to take it from that point? And I'm proud that he did not cave. What would have been the easy route, you guys?
Yeah, I'll send him some money.
Yeah, you'd be giving money away. Write this down. Giving money away is the last resort, not the first one. All right, John, call on someone, some brave soul. Is Jill with us today?
Is Adam still staying as the seller?
Well, it'd be hard for him to take over as the.
No, I'm just wondering because my thought is since T is really happy today, and I just complimented her that I could probably get her to be the agent and take over for Bryant as long as Adam is staying in there.
Yeah, I don't want you to stay there yet. Let Key take over at that point if she's been following this. If her camera's on.
I'm
Her
sorry,
camera is on.
I don't know where we are. If somebody wants to bring me up to speed.
No, that's okay. Just stay with us. Pick somebody else, John.
All right, awesome. Moses, you're up.
What did you need?
You are taking over for Bryant. And you're going to close Adam.
From where we
Okay,
left
Adam.
off.
Whatever you need, I'm totally here for you. The best results are my intentions. However, in dealing with another agent, you have to cancel your contract because it leaves us both wide open to lawsuits. And once you let him know that you have someone working for him, you found a really good deal, something that you really want, then I can totally take over for this guy.
Hang on.
And,
hang on.
I'll get it up to speed.
Moses is not listed.
I'll bring it up.
You're just stepping in for Bryant on this role play and
Yeah.
continuing the same conversation.
So were you listening to the role play up to that point?
No, I was still in the ethics thing.
Not a problem. Who was? Renee? Were you listening? You muted.
But I just jumped on late, so don't call on me. Next time.
Paul, he's been here the
Paul, you
whole
were
time.
on. Muted. There we go. Let me cue you. Paul, I can't hear you yet. Let me hear a sound check.
Unmuted.
There we go. Let me cue you. He says, look, what can you do for my friend? I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to make the call. What can you do for me and my friend, the agent?
Well, I would be glad to give him a call and explain to him our conversation today, where it may make more sense for me and our team to list your property than him being an hour away. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, Paul, I mean, like I said, I feel comfortable with doing business with you here today, but you know, my friend, it's a good buddy. He's going to be hurt. I'm just wondering if maybe you give him a call and maybe throw him a referral or something.
Well, a future referral, or are you talking about a referral on this particular listing?
Yeah, on the listing.
Well, that is an option. It is something that we really would prefer not to do, but that is an option that we could talk about if that is in fact the only thing stopping us from moving forward today with the listing.
Yeah, I mean, I hate for you to dig into your pocket. I know you guys are going to be doing a lot of work, but I'm just trying to get top dollar for myself, and I think that is you guys. But I need a little help on this.
Okay, well, I think
was going to list with him.
yeah, I could tell that. I think that our team will be able to get this thing listed and get you top dollar, and I will talk with your friend about setting up a referral agreement. Does that sound good?
What if you don't go down that road? Let's not go down that road right now. I want you to resist, you guys. I want you to understand your value. Now let's just stop a minute.
Okay.
Why did the referral fee come up?
He wants to take care of his friend. I think he realizes his friend may not provide him the best value and service, but he wants to take care of him.
Yeah, all right, so somebody tell me why it came up. And several people, there's a reason why it came up. And the reason is we did not give him a satisfactory alternative. Now, Paul, you said something brilliant, maybe by mistake. Did anyone hear what he had to say?
Future referral.
That was an option.
Well, no, he could send him one.
Yeah, he said future, maybe.
Yes.
Yes.
The guy's in a different area. So let's say that the guy's a next town over, an hour away. Do you think, Adam, would that be something? So here's basically what I want you guys to know. This is kind of right out of bold. Most people get into that spot. It's really true. I mean, they would be wanting to list with you. They feel a little bit embarrassed, whether it's their friend or somebody else they interviewed with or yet to interview with. And I mean, they have another appointment as soon as you leave. Hey, listen, I know a lot of sellers that feel a little bit awkward to call. And I tell you what, Adam, would this be good for you? Listen, what if we made this a win-win-win? Would that work for you?
Yes.
Now take control of the conversation so you can not make sure there's a referral fee in there. So why don't you let me do this? Why don't you let me call Andy and let him know that, hey, look, you dig him. And however, I'm just a little bit closer. This is my area of specialty. And I'll tell you what, I'll let him know first that your home is going to be on the market. That way, if there's any potential buyers, he'll have the first opportunity to sell the home. How does that sound?
So his buyers, yeah, that'd be good.
You see, sometimes that's the only win you need. Now, Paul came up with something because this agent's not right in the location. I mean, obviously it wouldn't work if you're competing with somebody who's got an office around the corner. And I'll tell you what, I'll even sweeten the deal. Because I don't handle Akron, Ohio, where your friend is. The next buyer or seller I have in that area, I'll refer to him, and that way to even out. How does that sound, Adam?
Yeah, I think that would give him a little something. Yeah.
You see how that can be? The seller in this case, Adam, is looking to what? Save face. Another thing, get this. What do you think of this, John? So what now? Press me on the referral fee.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
So you're insisting that I give him some commission, right? Adam?
Yeah, I can push back on that first one. You're saying if he has the opportunity to bring a buyer, you give him some favoritism. I don't want that. Oh, push back on the other one.
Yeah.
Uh,
Go back to where you were. Well, can you give him some shekels?
oh, okay, all the way back. Yeah, like I said, this is a good buddy of mine. I
Oh, nice.
feel bad not working with him. So do you think you could give him a referral fee or something? Part of the commission to keep him happy, off my back.
How much do you think would be fair?
I mean, I think the typical, from what I understand, 30% maybe.
Okay, so how about if we just raise the commission by 1%? How about if we do that?
Yeah, I guess that would be taken out of my pocket. I don't want that. The whole point here is to make me more money.
Well, I thought you said you want to take it out of my pocket because of your conscience?
Yeah, well, seems like it's a pretty good amount of money out there for you. No, I don't want that, Denny.
Here's the interesting thing. Do they look at money different when it comes out of their pocket?
Yeah. Oh,
My whole attitude was like,
yeah.
Well, here, you guys did a good job. Brian did a good job it was an excellent line of question. And if you had time, you could build on it. Listen, if there were a buyer that wanted to see your house right away and your agent was 2 hours away, do you think the buyer's going to wait or buy something else?
in this market, man, I don't know. Definitely want to get them in there right away.
So is speed to the lead important to you? See, Bryant was going down the perfect road there. So he knows that you built the case that hiring you that's local is better for him. Believe me, I mean, do you think you want to pay more of a commission? It ain't that good a friend. What I want you to do is stand up. And believe me, and we'll go on to something next year, John. You might have something up your sleeve, so be ready that we can go in any direction you want. Here's the thing, is I'm happy to pay a courtesy fee, a professional courtesy fee. I only do 25%. People get asked for 30% or whatever I get whacked out on. However, I'm happy to do that when it's legitimate. And have I paid or would I pay if push came to shove a referral fee to make it go away and make them happy? Yes. My whole point, guys, is this. Don't make it your first option. Make it what?
The last option.
Hey, Denny.
The last option.
Interesting thing. Adam threw out a number of 30%. And now he threw out a number of 30%. And I'm thinking here because he's in this business. A seller that doesn't know industry jargon, and you ask them your question, well, gee, Denny, I can appreciate that. How much do you think is fair? When I hear the word how much, I immediately go to dollars. I do not go to percents.
True.
So how many sellers, when you ask them, well, how much do you think is fair? What do you think the likelihood of them responding and saying, $500 or $1,000?
Exactly. Great point. Great point. All right.
At which point you do the Denny and say, ooh, that's a lot. But if that's going to help you feel better, then yeah, we can do that.
Let's shift gears. Do we have a request from the crowd? Again, number one challenge we face now, and it's going to get tougher. Should I buy now or wait? And for sellers, yeah, I can sell, but where do I go? So who has a role play up their sleeve? Maybe, John, you can spot somebody who's got smoke coming out their ears.
T's always got smoke coming out her ears, and I want her to be the buyer on this because I know that she's relentless and she's not going to roll over. And how about, let's see, Marie, are you willing to be the agent?
Yes.
And T is going to be the buyer. All right.
Hey, T, is it raining where you are? Looks like they have a rain hat on. All right. You're muted.
I'm
There
in
we
the
go.
office.
Must be raining buyers there. All right. What's the objection, John?
I'm gonna wait because the market's gonna tank.
Oh, okay.
Well, Mari, is it Mari, Marie?
Sorry.
Mari, thank you for coming by, but I really feel like I should just wait because I know that the market's gonna tank.
I understand that, Tahina, right?
Just see.
T. Just T is a letter
T.
T.
Okay. I understand that, T, and I appreciate you share that concern with me. That is a valid concern. So other than thinking that the market is going to crash, is there anything else that would stop you moving forward?
Make sure you say moving forward with me.
Moving forward with me.
Good. Good job.
Well, you know, between the waiting for, wait, I'm a buyer, John?
Yes.
You are a buyer, yes, and you just learned that sales are down year over year.
Well, besides waiting for the market to crash, I also don't know if I want to be out with all this whole COVID variant and the spike in numbers.
Okay, I hear you. You're concerned about COVID also, and I totally understand that. And besides being concerned about COVID and waiting for the market crash, is there any other thing that will stop you moving forward with me?
No, I mean, I think, yeah. I think those are pretty big concerns of mine.
I hear you. Regarding COVID, right now we have rules for COVID. We take precautions.
Hang on. Now your laundry listing.
Oh. She had 2 objections.
Yeah, but now you're just what concerns you? Well, find out which one's the main concern.
Waiting. Okay. Let me ask you, T. When do you think the market is going to crash?
No, find out which one is. She's giving you 2 concerns. Which one is the most important to her?
Okay. So, T, let me ask you, what is more of concern to you? Waiting for the market to crash, or are you more concerned about COVID?
I guess probably waiting for the market to crash.
All right, now you have 2
Saving
minutes.
money.
You have 2 minutes now. Go.
Okay, T, and when do you think the market will crash?
Good question.
Looks like it's starting right now.
It looks like it's starting right now, you know. And when do you think it will be a good time for you to step into the market?
When it's low, when I can buy for really cheap, I can get a good deal.
When it's low. And when will you know it's low?
That's a good question. I guess when I see it on the news and when houses are just sitting.
When you see it on the news.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that the news will report later than when we know as realtors, we know the news first?
Statement. No, that's a statement.
I understand that, T. Let me ask you something. If I can show you some homes that have the price that you want, will you be willing to go with me and show you those homes?
I just know that the homes are priced higher than ever before and they're not really it's not worth it. I'll just wait until they come back down.
You're gonna wait until it comes down. But when I don't have a crystal ball. When do you think that is gonna happen?
I don't know, like the next 6 months, it's already started. They're saying that like the housing market is slowing.
In the next 6 months?
2 minutes.
So let me,
2 minutes. Who wants to take over? Brian, I knew you'd raise your hand. 2 minutes, Brian.
Who am I talking to? Tanita?
T.
Just T.
T. Okay, T. So your concern is that you want to wait. Is there any other concern other than that? I completely forgot what I was about to say.
No, don't ask questions we
No.
already know. She
Okay,
already
okay.
said that's her
So-
number one.
Okay, so T, I completely understand the market is somewhat slowing down. How do you feel about the current competition with this market right now?
I'm sorry,
How do you feel about the current competition with this market right now?
I don't understand the question. What competition?
Competing against other buyers.
Oh, I feel like it's crazy out there. Like it's,
Okay,
people are paying way too much for houses and there's driving prices up with bidding and stuff like that. I don't want to get involved in that.
okay. And do you feel like there's other buyers out there just like you?
Yeah, but most of them are buying. They come
Okay.
from up north with all this cash and they just start like driving the prices up down here.
Okay. And do you feel like when the prices drop, that the competition will become even worse? Got her thinking.
I don't know. I don't
You don't
know.
know?
I just
Okay.
know I don't want to spend all this money right now.
Okay.
It's not really a
Well-
competition for me. If I get the house, I'm not in a competition with them. I have a certain amount of money I can spend and that's all I have. So I'll wait until the prices are where I can buy what
Yeah,
I
you're
want.
kind of moving, T. It's not fair. You're changing your story.
How's that, Denny?
Yeah. You are.
Changing your story. You said you wanted to wait until the price is lower. Now you're saying, well, it's because it's affordability. So that's not
Okay,
where,
well, when the prices are lower, then I can afford it.
yeah, but that's not that. I'm just saying, you're changing because being able to afford it never came up until now.
Okay. So when the prices come down, I'll buy.
Okay, T. Absolutely, I understand. When the prices come down, you'll buy. Now, T, ask you a question. Are you looking for reasons not to buy a house? Or are you looking for a reason to buy that one house?
Interesting and very bold question.
I want to buy.
You want to buy. Okay. And if we wait for these prices to drop and the competition will become even higher, do you feel like we'll just be stuck in this wheel of competition and competing against other buyers and we'll be back in the same situation we are in now?
So I'm going to call you time now. He's on a very interesting line of questioning. He's looking for a pain point. There's something very obvious we've talked about before that you're going to run into these buyers, and the formula that we discussed a couple of weeks ago was number one, acknowledge, understand their fear. What's their alternative and what's their greater pain? No one's asked a very basic question yet. What is
There's
it?
2 or 3 very basic questions that have been missed.
Are you
Anyone?
renting currently or do you own a house?
Perfect. There's one of them.
There's one.
what is important to you about waiting for the prices to drop?
Now, you guys beat that to death.
Yeah.
Are
There's
you
another
financing
one
or
out
paying
there.
cash?
Is it important time or money for you? What's most important?
Close.
Oh,
How long are you staying in the house? Do you plan on staying in the house? And then
Again,
if you
it's-
bought 5 years ago, do you think you'd be happy? now?
no, why do you want to buy a house? What's
There you
important to
go.
you?
there
What's
you
your
go.
priorities?
You've got to get
How is it
to
going
the
to make you feel
motivation.
if you
You gotta
don't
go to the
buy a
motivation.
home?
So we're just write this down, you guys. So let's follow the formula, and John can help you through it. Okay. You acknowledge, understand your fear. So what? Tell me, what is your fear about the market going down? All right. So so get a clarity about that. What's your alternative? Okay. So if you don't want to buy now, right now, what's your alternative? Do you own or do you own or rent? Most people in that scenario are going to be probably what?
Renters.
Yes. However, understand that now, what's their greater pain? So who wants to follow that model? Renee, you're right on track. And so, John, I'm going to move you back, and so you can be the buyer. Renee, see if you can walk him through that model.
Oh, John, I'm speaking to
Yep.
John. John,
It's me.
hey, so let's talk about what is important to you for buying a home right now.
Well, it's like I said, I'm really concerned about the market dropping, which means I'm going to be overpaying.
So let me ask you, do you own right now? Are you renting, or what's the situation?
I'm renting right now.
Okay. So you're telling me, or is the price the main concern? Is that your only issue?
Yeah, I mean, if I wait 6 months or a year, then I could probably get the house cheaper.
And why do you think that?
Now, wait a
Also-
minute. Before you start going down there, Renee, do you
Okay.
understand his motivation yet?
No. So, John, let me ask you, why do you want to move, or why are you considering buying a home? What's
Well,
important to you?
At some point, I need to own something myself and start putting equity in my own pocket.
Great. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And
What else? Layer it. You guys got it. What else?
if you don't buy right now?
No, not yet.
Nope,
Not yet.
nope, not yet. Okay.
So let's unload. All right.
Okay.
So building equity is awesome. What else is important to you about making a move right now, John?
Staying in the same school system is a big one. So no, T, I'm on a different beach, actually. She just sent the message, sorry. So staying in the same school system is going to be important. I've seen people get killed in housing bubbles, and I'm really afraid that, prices are going to come crashing down. There's enough there. There's enough there. Everything you need to know was just dropped on the table.
I know. And excuse me. All right. So going back to your, oh my God, John. So you're worried about the prices, but it's important. You would love to have a home. You would like to move.
Yes.
Okay. Can you, sorry, John, my phone was ringing when you were saying that. Can you just repeat what you said?
Yeah. We need to stay in the same school district.
Yeah, which is
That's
great.
important
Okay.
to me.
How many kids do you have, John?
I've got 2 kids.
Okay, great. So I'm sorry. And you said what else in addition to staying in the same school district?
I've seen too many people get destroyed in the last bubble.
So tell me about that. What does that mean, destroyed in the last bubble?
They bought in 2005, 2006, and they lost their shirts.
Got it. Got it. So going back to your kids staying in the same school district, what would that look like if we could find you a home and you guys could move and you could stay in the same school district?
Yeah, I want them to be able to, we're in a great district right now, and I want them to be able to finish their schooling in the district that we're in.
And if you don't find a home, if you don't move, what does that look like for you?
Well, I guess that means that I'm paying rent until they graduate.
Until you graduate. Is that something you want to do? I mean, are you willing to continue renting?
It's not ideal.
It's not ideal. So
How old
what
are my
would-
kids?
how old are your kids?
There you go. There's the question right there, guys. I know we were coming up on that 2-minute mark.
Yeah.
I've got a 7th grader and an 11th grader.
Okay, great. So 7th grader and 11th grader. Well, let's go back to if we did find the perfect home for you, how do you think that would work for your family? I mean, would that be great for your family?
Oh, sure. I mean, we could have a place where we'd stay in for the next 5, 6, or 7 years. It'd be great. Like I said, I don't want to get caught.
And how do you, John, what makes you think you're going to get caught?
Well, like I said before, it looks like the market is starting to change, and always been told that buying at the top of the market is never a good thing.
So what if we found the perfect home for you and it achieved everything you're looking for? I mean, that's a big assumption, making that you're going to get caught in the bubble. So what if we did find something that would work for you? How would that change your life? What would that look like?
Well, it still doesn't address the concerns that, you know, prices are going to come crashing down.
Well, understand that concern, and none of us have that answer, right? We have no idea what's going to happen. I don't know, you don't know, but I think if we could find something that works with your criteria and your needs, do you think that would put you and your family in a better situation if we could find that home?
Well, I guess I'm kind of wondering how it's a better situation if the home's losing value.
Well, we don't know that. I mean, that we don't know that yet. Would you be willing to come and, you know, look at, I have a few ideas for you of this home with things that meet your criteria. Would you be willing to come take a look at that?
I mean, I guess we could look at it. I just don't want to make any promises. I'm really concerned about property values dropping.
Sure. Understood. None of us know what's happening, but I think if I can help you and guide you into the right properties that fit your dreams, I would love to show you. And if you're available on this Saturday, I can make some appointments for you. How does that sound?
I suppose we can take a look.
Great.
So
How about-
James, you're laughing.
Well,
Sorry.
yeah, just something about, I'd go, John, have you thought about the tax advantages of ownership versus renting?
There's one.
Have you also considered, you have no control over the rent going forward. So what if your landlord decides to keep increasing rent? Have you noticed how much rents have gone up in the last year?
There's two.
Let me
Those
ask
are
you
both crazy important ones right there, guys.
Interest rates.
And let me ask you this
There's
again.
three.
Have you ever had a better time to buy, right?
So
As far as
the
interest.
point with this, guys, is buyers are focusing on one thing. They're focusing on the price, right? If I
Right.
have to rent for another year, would it be helpful to know how much I'm paying in rent?
Yes.
I'm paying $4,000 a month. Okay, so let me understand this, John. You're willing to give somebody else $50,000 over the next year, and how much do you think the market might drop in that time frame? $50,000. That's 10% of what you're spending.
It's great.
And no one
That
asked,
creates a huge pain point.
John, also, why do you think the market's going to drop? What indicates that the market is going to fall off a cliff?
Well, year over
Do you
year
see that
sales.
demand-
This is where people are going to be coming from. Year over year sales.
Understood, but do you see them slowing down to a drastic degree that the sales are that much of a pullback?
And that's why I don't know. Aren't you the expert? Aren't you supposed to tell me this?
Well, you have the concern, so I just want to try to understand what the concern is.
The concern is the losing money. Now, the other thing, guys, is I said, I've got at least 5 years in this house, probably 7.
Mhm.
Now, in a 7-year time frame, are we going to have price fluctuations both up and down?
Yep.
And you're right, Renee. Nobody knows in 7 years what the price of a home is going to be. Because if I knew, I'd be on the beach behind tea with a
Yeah.
rum drink and my yacht sitting just offshore. And those of you in Naples hear that way too often. So,
Well, John, would you also bring up the fact that, you know, if your friends who got caught in the bubble 10 years ago, what is their home worth today? If they had just stayed in the home and continued to own it, they would probably be cash positive right now. So you got to look long term.
absolutely. And the other thing to consider, and James, it's a great point. And you don't necessarily want to dig too deep because a lot of
Yeah.
people made some very poor financial decisions 15 years ago. All right. Over leveraged, went and took every piece of equity or more out of their existing home in order to buy contracts and flip them. And then they got left holding the bag. So you don't know the entire situation behind it. Their friend may have been one of the thousands and thousands of people, actually millions of people, that bought a house and then had to give it back to the bank because they got in way over their head. All right.
Yeah.
So the key takeaways on that were, the clues were how long I'm going to be in the house. What's the cost of money? You know, I mentioned earlier that the three best times over the past 45 years to buy a home. Number one best time was 2010, and this is in real today dollars. The second best time was 2020. The third best time is right now.
What, you
Now,
would say that, John?
Since 1975, when you factor in interest rates, the median mortgage amount, and the true value of money calculating for inflation since 1975, right now is the third best time.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. Some people would have said, man, I would have loved to buy in 2015. Prices were the lowest. Yeah. You know, the median mortgage was 260,000 in 2015. Today is 337,000. That doesn't make any sense until you realize that the interest rates and the cost of money and inflation actually makes it $40 a month cheaper to own that same house today than it did 6 years ago. So have some of these, you're going to come across people that are really high C's and want the numbers and they want the analytics. So have this sort of information available. You may not have it at the tip of your fingertips. I'm really geeky. I keep it in a file on my phone so I can just go to it pretty quickly. In fact, you can see it's, well, there it is right there. Okay, that's the chart going back to 1975. There are people that are going to want that information. Not everybody's a high D or a high I. There are people that are going to be very reserved and very penny oriented. Possibly, John. I'll tell you what I can do. Sonny, do we have a way of emailing this out to everybody that's on the call, or can we post it in Denny's Role Play Mastery Facebook page?
We can
Okay.
do that. That's the easiest way. I was just thinking really quick. Unless you can put it on the chat and everybody can copy the chat.
I can't because it's on my phone. It's not on the computer.
Okay.
And my phone's not logged into Zoom right now. So
Okay.
let me, I think I
Email
can.
it to me really quick and let me see if there's a way I can do. We've got a couple more minutes. I don't know if I can do it in 3 minutes, but you can try.
All right, check your text message. You've got it. Or you want me to email it?
No, it's fine. I'll just take a picture and see if I can
Okay.
do it. You're taking over, by the way. Denny's table got cut.
I guess so. All right. So let's see. Who's going to be up this time? Reagan, did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes,
All right. Do you prefer to be a buyer, seller, or agent?
I'll be a buyer or a seller.
You're going to be a buyer or a seller. You're going to be a seller this time. All right. And Liliana, you are going to be the agent. So we're going to do this totally unscripted, Liliana. Ask her to sign, and Reagan, you give her any objection you want. You're at the table. Go.
Reagan, I am the agent, John.
Yep, you're the agent, and I'll even lead it for you. Reagan, I appreciate your time today. Go ahead and sign here, and we can get going.
Yeah, you know, I'd like to sell in this market right now, but I'm just not sure where I'm going to go next.
Well, if you want, you're not sure what you're going to go next. That's interesting. So, if you want to go somewhere, where do you think you're going to go? What's
Well, I guess what I'm concerned about is we're going to have to buy something else, and I'm just not sure how quickly we'll be able to find it. And I know homes are selling very quickly, right? So if our home sells, what are we going to do?
Well, in my career, I never left anyone homeless, so I'm sure we can find avenue. Why don't I set up a time to meet with you and find out what are you looking
Face to face
for?
right now at the table, trying to get her to sign.
Sorry. John, I'm new, you know, you challenged me and I appreciate that.
Liliana, you're doing
Okay.
awesome. And remember, guys, you get better with practice. It does not, this is the safest place you're going to do this. All right. So have at it, have fun with it. Just, okay, where am I going to go?
So you are looking for a destination to be warm during the winter, or do you want to do what kind of sports you like?
We're not probably going to leave the area so much. We just don't need this big house anymore. Our kids are in college, and we're just trying to take advantage. We don't even have to move right now, but I know it's a good market to sell. So we're looking to see what we could get for our house, and then considering where we want to go, but we don't really want to leave the area. We're just worried about finding our next home quick enough.
Okay, so what kind of home are you looking into? So can you tell me more about the perfect home or the great home that you are looking for?
Something that's mostly on the main floor. We don't mind having upstairs, but we want a main level primary bedroom and use some land around us, a little bit of space. Not too far from services, but don't mind being out a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So you want to be close to the amenities, not too far. You still want to have a backyard. Is there anything else important?
2 minutes.
Liliana, great job. It's tough being put on the spot like that. And Reagan, those were great objections. So real quick, what question could you have asked Reagan to get her thinking that, well, maybe this is something we could do?
What other question I should ask?
So Reagan, what if you could have your cake and eat it too?
I was waiting to get some options. What do you mean by that?
Well, in this market, we've had a lot of flexibility with buyers. What if we could find a buyer that would give you the time you need to be able to find the right home? And to give you an example, we just listed a property and sold it in a day. And the new owners gave the previous owners 1 year to find a new home.
Oh, that much time. I didn't know that was something you could do.
I'm not saying we could do it in every case. It happened to work really well for that. And if we had a buyer like that for you, would that be a win?
That would definitely be a win.
Let's focus on that. Are you ready to get going?
I am.
So have stories. And yes, it really happened. People paid 5% over list, gave them a year rent free. Rent free.
They probably knew it wouldn't take a year.
Yes, the chart is in the chat that you guys were looking for. Thank you for that, Sonny. So if you go into chat, give you a second to download that before we call it a day. Denny does not know this yet. I will not be here next week. I get to see my parents for the first time in 2 years over Labor Day. So I'm excited about that. Becky Kitson, great to see you. Well, your name here today. You didn't show us your face, but good to see your name here today.
Did everybody get the chat, or do you need more time?
Got it.
Everyone got it?
I got it.
All right, guys. It was awesome. Great job today.
I just want to let everybody know that I feel like a genius because I'm not technologically savvy at all.
Good job, Sonny.
You pulled it off, Sonny. Thank you.
We'll see you guys.
All right, goodbye.